Almost done. Mhm. Almost done. Mhm. Okay. To notify. Kedoshim. 1 second. Okay. Kedoshim, we can start now. Okay. So, Bezat Hashem, we will continue our study of the parashot. Like you know, every single week. Shalom, shalom. First of all, shalom, shalom to everybody. Shalom to Rabbi Yoshua, Rizu. Shalom, shalom to Rabbi Leoshimidia, to Rabbanit Catherine, to Rabbanit Funika, to Rabbi Hillel, to Rabbi Shimon, et Keshuku, to Papa Mama Kitoko, to Rabbi Matan, to Rabbi Moshe Wolf, Rabbanit Nadej, Chief Rabbi Ishai Moshe, to Rabbanit Shalva, Bezrat Hashem. So, first of all, few information before we start the limud. All the people who have subscribed for the for the rabbinical training program, I will ask to you to be very, very aware about your emails, because many information will be passed by email, because all the virtual university system will be made from the Google applications. So all the Google apps will be used in order to create a very good and nice experience of learning Torah and receiving also a good interaction with people, receiving documentation, receiving questions, and we're going to use many of Google app to make a very nice and well-built experience. So be aware about your emails. The second thing is I will ask to you also to download the Google app called Google Classroom. If maybe you don't know how it look like, let me show to you a few seconds. It's like this. This is the name of the app. If you see my screen now, you see my screen?
Yes, Shifra thinkers.
So it's Google Classroom. Just download the app. You will receive email the next hour, let's say, and you will have all the schedule of the week. You will have each study, each limud will be in a specific area with his own teacher. For example, you will see that you have English study and French study. The flag is here to give to you some indications. Let's say, for example, if I go to, let's say, the Ramban in English, when you go inside, you will have the teacher name, and you will have the students. With this tool, we can plan some homework, we can plan some tests. There's many things we will do to help you to improve your skills in Torah. So have your classroom app ready because many information will come afterwards. So it was just the momentum of let's say promoting the work we are doing. But let's go back to our topic. So like every single week, and this limud we do every Thursday, every Wednesday evening will be kept. This is the biblical study. This is where people can see and discover the level of our teachings, the purposes of what we are doing and why we are doing it in that way, and the level of what you study, Bezrat Hashem. So every single week, we try to connect with the parashot of the week. Each week in the Torah word is divided and connected to a portion of the Chumash, the 5 main books that Moshe received. And we are this week reading the portion called Acharemot Kedoshim. Acharemot, it's mean after the death of Nadav and Avihu. And Kedoshim, it's basically all the laws regarding how to keep the Kedusha. And we have our master, the Ben Ish Chai, who try every single week to tell us some hints, to give to us some secret behind the laws which are connected to each parasha. Because in his book of laws of halacha, Ben Ish Chai try to bring up the main laws that can be understood and explain the deeper level, the secret aspect of that law. Why is it important? Because sometimes when you don't study enough and you just do things because you know maybe one day you will understand, what's happened generally, people stop to do or they don't do with the respect that should be shown when you are practicing Torah. So when you ask to them, why are you doing like that? They say, no, because it said that we will do and we will understand. Now I say, Venishma, we will do and we will understand. So I'm not obliged to understand in order to do. This is the general answer that will be given to you. Just know that this is one of the biggest mistakes ever seen. Why? Because every time someone is quoting a situation, you have to make the effort to know to which situation, to which configuration that words are connected to. When you try to see when was said the first time the words Naaseh v'nishma, we will do and we will understand, it was just after they heard for the first time the voice of God, the voice of Hashem. Because they were not able to afford that spiritual experience, they were dying and not trying to make any effort to be at the level of the moment. They said to Moshe, you know what? You go, talk with God, do your stuff. You can afford it. And when you do your stuff, just come to us and tell us what to do. We will do and we will understand. So basically, people who react like that and said, Naaseh v'nishma, we will do and we will understand. They are the archetype of the very same people that we try to repair every single Shavuot when we spend the whole night not sleeping. Why? Because on Shavuot, every single man have to stay aware all the night to fix one of the biggest sins which was made is that when we received Torah, we were asleep. 1 second. When we received Torah, we were asleep. And that situation was considered like a big mistake. So just to put you under the frame. So the Ben Ish Chai wants you to understand and to do. Because once you understand, you can work on the intention, on the mindset, on the thought to have when you will do. So in this parasha, the Ben Ish Chai will talk about something very strange. We'll talk about the laws asking us to use salt for different reasons. Why do we use salt when it comes about bringing out the blood from the meat? Why do we use salt in specific time regarding some korbanot? And this will help us to understand something very important in our history as Bantu Israelite, as African American, as African, to understand why we are always surrounded by fear when it comes about interaction with the Western world, no matter if it is in politics, no matter if it is in spirituality, no matter if it is in education, and so on and so on. You will tell me, no, we don't have any fear. We have to know that fear possesses different faces. The first one, very known, is when you are afraid, you are like this, and you can even not face the one who bring you that fear. You have also another type of fear which will be expressed by arrogancy. People think that because you show up and you respond and you have that vulgarity, you have that arrogancy, it shows that you are strong and you are ready to battle. No. Why? Because if arrogancy was one positive sign about someone being free of any type of pressure, we will not be taught to consider arrogancy like an impurity, stick to the soul. Actually, people who have that arrogancy, they are afraid of something, afraid of playing the role of the one who can receive. Why? Because in life, you have to know how to give sometime, and you have to know also how to be a receiver. This is what we call the healthy balance of life. If you want, you can tell it, you can call it also the masculine way of life, which is to give, and the feminine way of life, which is to receive. Generally, people who are arrogant, they don't want to pay, or they have many problems to know how to play the role of receiver. A receiver can, for example, be a student in front of his master, a child in front of his parents. You have to have that strength to know sometimes how to sit, to close your mouth, and to listen, to use the ear. Some people, when they are afraid, they become a danger for the one who look like them. They are the first one to battle again any type of mindset, any type of project, any type of situation that will be seen like positive for the, his brothers, but he will think that it's important that no change should happen. that it's important that Occidental population type of people come and validate who you are, what you say, the way you think. This is a fear of being enough strong to define yourself, to define your identity, to build your own path, and not to be mentoring every single day. Some people, when they are afraid, they will consider money like a way to be accepted by society. They will consider that the only way to be considered because of their skin color will be to have enough money. Like this, the power of finance will raise or will, let's say, put aside the difference or the struggle they have to face. So because you are afraid to, let's say, to stand strong and to be strong in the identity, way, because you are afraid to explain and to build all their life based on what they are, they will try to erase all the differences that can be seen from outside in order to say money is the solution. With money, no one has color, no one has shape, no one has size, no one. This is a fear. Why? Because why are you afraid not to succeed to get respect from people without having money like a filter? Many examples that you can add. And we, Bantu Israelite, we collect all that fears. All the fears that can even bring people to create a culture of fear, a culture of violence, a culture of vulgarity, a culture of disrespecting women, a culture of corruption, a culture of going in Europe to be validated in order to manage or to be the president somewhere in Africa. All this become a culture. And this is exactly all the situation of fear that I've quoted that brought many sages in the Pan-Africanism to talk about a must for our type of population, Bantu Israelites, to seek and to work for the second type of independencies. In Africa, let's say, we have people who think that since the 60s have passed, we are independent. No, the truth is no, we don't have our own currency. We don't have the control of our borders. Families have been separated by some committee who decided to trace and to line the area they wanted to dominate, not taking consideration of who is who, which tribe is where, and so on. So all the situation shows that we are not independent at all. So one of the work for us is to give that strength to all of you to understand how to exit that fear. And something can be even say worst if we go to America. Thanks God, many things are coming up and people, the Black Americans start to know that not only we have African Americans, but also we have Black people who are originally the landlord of the US. But that history has been totally, let's say, unknown. I will not say another word. So what will happen if I go in that mindset? We can say that maybe in the place where the Bantu Israelites are today, one country has never been decolonized, and that country is US. If we take the story with a bigger map, all that long introduction just to tell you how the chapter of fear is so important for us. We have to know how to remove that fears from our life. Before we start, is there any question, any suggestion, any point of view about what was just said now?
Shalom, shalom, Shifra Pinkers.
Shalom, shalom.
What you just said is very, very correct. Because this fear is one of the biggest challenge. Most times we think that we cannot do things ourselves. We will like, even if you are doing something, you will like to validate it from what is being done in Europe. Yeah, take for example, medicine. Take for example, medical practice in our area. They told a lot of lies. They told a lot of lies that made our medicine look very bad. Yes. But after some time, lies can last. So after some time, people have now started finding out that those things are really lies. For example, they will tell you that our medicine, our local medicine has no dosage. That is likely you will take overdose of it. Then I now ask the person that is saying that, okay, our local medicine have no dosage. The sheep go into the farm to eat all those things from morning till night, and he will eat it and come back. Which dosage is he eating it at? And those leaves he's eating are still those leaves you are using to make medicine. So why are you now trying to tell me that those leaves we still use it to cook? So why will it be that when we now turn into the medicine becomes a problem, we start having problems with dosage or not? So all those things are fear. They created a lot of fear. There is virtually nothing that we can do now without how is it being done so place? Are you sure you are getting it right? Are you sure you are not getting it right? So nobody, everybody is a slave. Everybody is a slave to that fear in this particular locality. Shalom, shalom, haram. It's a very nice.
Shalom. Toda rabba. Toda rabba. So the purpose for us will be to understand what is the origin of that fear and how we can fight it back and how we can react, what tools we can use tomorrow for us, for our children, to be able to be basically cleaned, washed totally from all that situation. So Ben Ishchai, look what he is saying. Share my screen and let's go. The Ben Ishchai will try to grant one verse from the Pirkei Avot, the words of the fathers, the wisdom of the fathers. In the third chapter and the 21st verse, it said like this: Im en chokhmah en yira, ve'im en yira en chokhmah. I think this is some thought. So it's basically, if there is no wisdom, there is no fear. If there is no fear, there is no wisdom. Are you aware about these words, this sentence? Have you ever studied that topic? Just curious, just want to know if yes or not.
Chief Rabbi.
Yes.
Hey, shalom, shalom, Chief Rabbi. Shalom, yeah, I was reading a few months ago. I was reading the introduction to the Zohar, and the Zohar brings down that there are three types of fear. One type of fear is the fear that a person must serve Hashem in order that they will not go to Gehinnom. This is not the right type of fear that you must have. The second type of fear is the type of fear that we see that is used in the church, where they'll tell you, you have to serve Hashem or he'll punish you. That's not the right type of fear. But the last type of fear is what the Zohar calls righteous fear. And that is we fear Hashem because Hashem is the creator. We fear Hashem because Hashem is the creator of the universe. And because we have respect and reverence for Hashem, we stand in awe of his greatness. We fear him, but it's not the type of fear that one would have if they serve him out of obligation. We serve Hashem because we love Hashem. And because we love Hashem, it's the same type of fear that a child has for their father, not that they are afraid, but because they respect and reverence their father.
Thank you very much, Rabbi Matan. It helps us to understand that here, the Avot, the fathers, they are focused on the third level of fear. Let's say in the third level of fear, they are explaining to us how it works inside of that level. The two other level, like you said, it's basically where we are trapped. It's easier to see the difference when we talk about things we don't have connection or we don't appreciate, to see, yeah, this is the type of fear I don't want. But the truth is, when we are connected to our culture, we see that we are full of fear, that violence, that arrogancy sometimes, that discretion, that lack of trust, that way to battle your brother, to think that him successing, it's like you losing. It's all these things, they are fears, and we will see, and you were ready to quote it. So he said, the Ben Ish said, יש להבין, מאחר שתלה היראה בחוכמה, איך חזה ותלה חוכמה ביראה. So he said, it's very strange. These require explanations. Since the fear is made dependent on wisdom, how can it then say that wisdom is dependent on fear? We don't understand. If I do something like that, this depends on the base. How do you now change? It's not logical at all. And he go deeper, he said, ונראה לי בסייעתא דשמיא דידוע שיש שני מיני יראה. He said, based on that, it's like this. He said, look, it seems to me, with the help of Hashem, that it is known there are two types of fear. So the two types of fear we are talking about here, they are not saying the opposite of what Rabbi Matan have said. What Rabbi Matan have said was a bigger picture of wrong fear, good fear. Now we enter in the good fear and we try to see how it works inside. So inside of that good fear, to be able to be afraid of God just because you love him. So how is it possible for us to achieve that level? This is what he's going to say here. Look what he said. He said like this. ידוע שיש שני מיני יראה. האחד, יראת החיצונית, שהוא יראת את השם מפני העונש, או בשביל השגת הטובה. והשנייה, יראת הפנימית, שהוא יראת את השם מפני שהוא אלוקינו, והוא בראנו, וברא את כל העולם. והיינו רב ושליט. He said like this. He said, basically, we have two types of fear, like we said. Okay, two types of fear. Said the first one is external fear, where one fears God because of punishment or in order to attain reward. So we are not saying that we are afraid because Hashem is, let's say, is putting pressure on us. No, it's like you being a child and you know that Your father impress you. Your father is strong. Your father has a big beard. Your father has a strong voice. And when he says stop, you stop. You're afraid not because Chaz Shalom, God forbid that it will be violent. No, it's not about that. It's about you don't want to be punished by your father. You just want to have a cool relationship. He said, this is what we call the externality of the good fear. To fear because you are afraid of the punishment or in order to attain reward. Meaning, your son will come and say, Father, look, I did this for you. Thank you. Thank you. Father, can I have some candies? Okay. You did well. Thank you. This is not to say that it's a wicked level. No, it's a level of the beginners. And he said the second is an internal level of fear, where one fears God because He is our God. He created us and the entire world. And He is the great and sovereign Master, the roots of all sources, of all words. And so this is the second level of fear. וזוהי יראת הפנימי. אי אפשר לסחוט לה עד שיזדקר חומר האדם, ותזכר נפשו מן השיגים שבה. כי בעודו בשיגים והאחריות לבלתי זכור, מוכר שתהיה כוונתו בשביל הנאתו. He said very simple. He said this internal fear cannot be attained until a person's physicality is refined. You have to refine your physicality. What does it mean? How can I refine my physicality first? And what the connection between me refining my physicality and being able to achieve the second level of fear? How is it possible? What the connection between these two things? It's not even logical. And he said, and his soul is purified from its impurities. So there's two levels here of work. And the physical level and the spiritual level of the soul. You have to refine your body, your physicality, and you have to purify your soul. For as long as it remains with impurity and the coarseness without refinement, his intentions will inevitably be for his own benefit. I explain again. מוכר שתהיה כוונתו בשביל הנאתו. Meaning, what he said here, it's crazy. We are talking about fear. We say that there is a good fear, which is built in two levels. Okay. The inner one, Shalom Shalom Rabbi Yochanan. The inner one and the external. Shalom Shalom. And the external one. Okay, we get it. He said, in order to be able to perform the inner and the external level of fear properly, you have to work on your physicality and your spirituality. Your physicality, when you start to work on your body to make your body more refined, that will help you to achieve the level of external fear. And after, when you go deeper, you start to work on your soul, what we call zichur nefesh. You make your soul very pure. At that moment, you achieve the second level of the good fear. But if you are not working on refining your body and making your soul more pure, let's say, you will be considered that you are doing everything for your own satisfaction. You are doing everything for your own benefit. So now let me help you out. This means that if I'm wrong, correct me. To do things for your own benefit, this is what we call the bad fear, the wrong fear. Do you agree?
Understood, sir.
תודה רבה. You see how in 6 lines, the Ben Ish Chai is slapping everybody. He's telling you, look, you were thinking that be afraid of something was dealing with the fact of someone being dominant. And you were thinking that it was the only way to understand fear. You say, no, 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 no. My sons, Bantu Israelite, keeper of the Nusa Afriki, let me say to you something deeper. The fear we are talking about, the worst one, is to understand that to be when you want to do things for your own interest. This is the higher expression of fear. And please remind me, what is the nickname of the US? The self-made country, right? Am I wrong?
That is it, Rabeno. That is it.
And that mindset, how is it used? That mindset is spread out all over the world. And who are the very ones who are identifying themselves to that mindset? The Africans. Because when you come in Europe, Europeans, they are okay. They know that they are the ancestors of the Americans, let's say. So they know that to succeed is not about to be a self-made man. To succeed is all about dynasty, legacy. But at the same time, you are taught to be a self-made man. At the same time, you are taught to work for your interest. So deeply settled in the culture that no matter what you do, people come to you to say, so what about my interest? So let's talk about my interest. It became so normal. It's for your own pleasure. This is the higher expression of fear. Let's go deeper. Is there any question still there, Natasha?
No question for
No
me.
question? תודה רבה, Chief Revelation. He said, ונודע, כי היסק התורה שהוא החוכמה, הוא העיקר המזכך חומר האדם, ומתאר נפשו מן השיגים שבה, ולכן נקרא אדם. דעות א' רומז להיסק התורה לשם שמיים, כי א' לשון לימוד, כמו תהילים נ"ה, אלופי ומדי, וכן אלפיך חוכמה. צורת א' היא ו' א' ו', ושני יודעים שמספרם כ"ו כמניין שם הוויה. רמז שהלימוד יהיה לשם שמיים. Say like this, see, it's known that when you are totally engaged in your Torah study, when you see Eseka Torah, it's not about studying in the mindset of we will do and we will understand. No. Eseka Torah is I have to understand in order to do properly. So when you're in that mindset, you never put a level of study of Torah aside. You study Pshat, Drash, Remez, Sod. Study everything because you are obsessed by something, by one thing. I want to do perfectly what is asked. So I said, if you are in that mindset, you have to know that this is what we call wisdom. This is wisdom. He said that level, that mindset, when you study Torah, we call it Esek Torah. He said, this is what we call Chokhmah. What is wisdom? To study in order to know how to do. Not to do in order to know what to study. Or not to do in order to hope to be able to study. Because when you do like this, Naaseh v'nishma, you do and you hope you will understand what's happened. You remove from every single of your actions, thought, and speech, you remove the spirituality, the ruchaniyut. That's why you see many people, they are doing mitzvot, but you don't see them connected to what they are doing. But they are Jew. He say, look, when you study in order to know what to do, how to do properly, like it was fixed by the sage, he said, this is what we call wisdom. And he said, that wisdom, that mindset, that logicality means that you will now be in the level of refining your physicality and refining your soul from its impurities. So, the question we had before, now we have the answer. How do I refine my body? How do I purify my soul? Wisdom. And he said, therefore, a man is called Adam. So you are not Adam if there is no level of wisdom like defined here in your life. It's not because you pay your bills, not because you are strong, not because you are powerful, that you are a man. Not because you are married that you are a man. What makes you a man is to be able to study in order to do properly the Torah. And he said, in that case, when I say, Ata Adam, you are called Adam, Aleph Dalet Mem. Why? He said, because for the letter Aleph alludes to Torah studying. Every time you see Aleph at the beginning of a word or anything, it's to make allusion to Torah study, but not any type of Torah study. Torah study, Leshem Shamayim, for the sake of heaven. So you see what he's doing now? He said, look, to study at the level of Leshem Shamayim can only be associated to what we are seeing now. To study in order to do properly. So let me give to you a secret. Many times you hear me talking about Torat Aleph, right? So here's the definition. What is Torat Aleph? You will see it in the mindset of the one who are obsessed by studying so deeply in order to do properly first. And achieving that level, they will be doing Torah for the sake of even. This is Torat Aleph. What is Torat Bet? Naase v'nishma. What is Torat Aleph? Nishma v'naase. Do you get it?
Yeah, from Pincus.
תודה רבה. Shalom shalom Elio Gaon. Shalom shalom. So you see what he's saying?
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom shalom Rabbeinu. He said, don't stop to say Naase v'nishma. You are trapped in the Torah Bet. And in that mindset, you cannot purify your body. You cannot refine your body and not purify your soul. Start to say Nishma v'Naase. And when you say Nishma v'Naase, what are you doing? You are acquiring the level of Esek Torah. Meaning, there is no Esek Torah if you are in Torah Bet. You get it, Rabbanim?
Yes,
Yes,
from
sir.
Pincus. Yes, yes.
No, Arab, I did not get.
You just arrived. You have the text. Just wait 5 minutes and you will understand. Bezrat Hashem. And he said, therefore the man is called Adam because the letter Aleph alludes to Torah study for the sake of even. So when you say Torah Bet, what does it mean? You study like the self-made man. You study Baba Batra, Baba Metzia, for what? For using it in your job to know how to have more money. Am I lying?
Not at all. Not at all.
No, Rabbi. In fact, that's where we come into contact with Judaism for the first time, because we see people advertising it as a gateway to an advantage and not as a way of relating to Hashem.
You said everything. And you see what the Ben Ish Chai is saying? He is rebuilding our mind. He said, look, my kids, you don't get it. You don't get it. And we are just at the beginning. We just want to understand what is. If there is no wisdom, there is no fear. And there is no fear, there's no wisdom. We just want to understand that Pirkei Avot. People read it so fast. But Israel says, you think you understood what the words means? Let me start from the beginning with you. In that few words, which seems to repeat themselves, we have the whole definition of what should be a Ben Israel. Remember, Naaseh v'nishma was said by the people who wanted to have their own interest, not being able to hear the voice of God. They say, Moshe, go, do the work. Do the work and we will do what you will say. What does it mean? Go kill yourself in working, sweat, and after give to us, we'll use it to make more money. That's why while Moshe was looking for the bones of Joseph, what were they doing? They were going house to get the gold of the Egyptians. Naaseh v'nishma. It's not our identity. It's not our heritage. We are under the sign of Yosef. We are connected to that level of Yosef. Bnei Yehuda, it's Bnei Yehuda. They like the pshat. If you see Chizkel, Hashem asks to him, take the two woods, the two stuff. one right Ephraim or Yosef, one right Yehuda, put them together, will never be separated again. What is that separation? Naase v'nishma or nishma v'naase? Now you have it deeper here. You know that the one who said Naase v'nishma, the level of Esek Torah is never at their side. I'm repeating for Rabbi Eliyahu Gaon. Never at their side. It's impossible. And you cannot call them men. And he said, after he said, let me translate. He said, because when you see Aleph, the Aleph of Adam, what is the purpose and the meaning of the first letter of every single word is to give the identity, the DNA of that word. So Adam starts with Aleph. So you can only be Adam if the Aleph is settled. What is that Aleph? Esek Torah. What is that Esek Torah? To study deeply in order to know what to do. Believe me, if you don't study Kabbalah, Sod, you will never understand a single thing of what you are doing. From the tefillin, to the brachot, to the tzitziot, to the Shabbat, to the wedding, you will not understand a single thing. So what type of intention you will have? And he said, the letter Aleph is here to talk about learning. As it said in the Psalms. Let's see. Tehillim 55:40. Try to see that.
While you look for your document, Chief Rabbi, can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
Why do some rabbis out there say that you must be at least 40 years of age and having reached a certain level of Torah to study the Zohar or Kabbalah in general? Is it because, actually specifically Kabbalah, is it because it's a people control thing? You want to keep people at a certain level, or maybe you don't trust your students to embody what's in those books? What's the motive of those rabbis teaching that way?
There are few reasons that I cannot say publicly because I don't want to create any scandal. But let's say when you are not at the level to teach something, and you know that that level is 1/4 of what was asked in the halacha, normally you should not be called rabbi at all. So how can you do in order to keep yourself up, not to give access to the other? Because when you say something like that, you are making a big transgression. The sage will explain like this. Anyone who comes and say that the Torah can destroy, or the Torah can burn, or the Torah can make anything negative, this is what we call Chilul Hashem. How can Hashem give to us things that can damage our body or destroy our soul? It's a Isur, the Isur Gadol. It's a big transgression. Why is it so? The secret is the story of Yechezkel. Why the two stuff are separated? Why do we see that you have 2 tribes here and 10 tribes here? What was the reason? The ones who know the reason is know that this is the key. Because the two decided to select and to choose a way that were not taught at all. And in order to keep that up, we create a whole system. And in that system, we, the Bantu Israelites, have been put aside. So there's many reasons, but these are the one I can publicly say. Bezat Hashem, in the rabbinical program, you will have a lot of information. A lot of information. Toda Rabba Lecha. A lot of information. We will teach you to be rabbis. Don't worry, Bezat Hashem. תודה רבה. So let's see the Tehillim. Tehillim 55:40. 55:40. See. This. Okay. See? He said, but it was through a man, mine equal, my companion and my familiar friend. Nah, well translated at all. Let me see in French, maybe. Mais c'est toi, non, pareil. Nah. Look what he said here. In Hebrew, it's not what it said at all. Sorry, just want to remove this. He said, Asher yardav namtik sod. Ah, no, sorry. Voilà. Ve'ata enosh ka'achi. Alufi. Alufi is to talk about to be melumad, someone who had acquire wisdom. It's not well translated at all. Don't know what he's saying. What he's saying. He said, look, like he said, the Tehillim, Alufi midai. You have been taught and you acquire knowledge. You have acquired knowledge and wisdom. Not only that, he said we have another verse in Yov. What does it say in Yov? He said, I will teach you. What is the verb used to say, I will teach you? Va'alafecha, le'alef. Aleph is the word to explain teach. I will teach you what? Chokhmah, wisdom. So, alafecha chokhmah, if we translate word by word, I will teach wisdom. If you get it in a very in another way, if you read it with another dynamic, it's telling you that alafecha chokhmah. The aleph is chokhmah. It says, look, the form of the aleph, it's a vav in the middle and two yuds, one looking down and one looking up. The yud's value is 10 and the vav value is 6. You say, if you even see the shape of the aleph, you find the value of the name of the divine name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yud Kei Vav Kei, hinting that the study should be for the sake of God. And he continues, he said, one second. He said, ועל כן, עושה בירור 4 בחינות 11 סימני הקטורת, שיש ב4 עולמות אצילות ויצירה עשייה, אשר בעשייה, כי ידוע של עולם 4 עולמות אצילות ויצירה עשייה, יש בו 4 עולמות אצילות ויצירה עשייה. ולכן אנחנו לומדים 11 סימני הקטורת בבוקר, בתפילת העשייה, שהוא בסדר הקורבנות. פעם אחת בפסוקי תורה שבכתב, ופעם אחת בתורה שבעל פה, שהיא הבריאה. וחוזרים גם כן קודם עלינו לשבח, לומר גם כן פעמים, אחת בפסוקי קר לך שמים שהם תורה שבכתב, ואחת בבריאה שגם זה האמירה בעולם העשייה. הרי 4 פעמים כנגד 4 בחינות 11 סימנים שיש באצילות בריאה יצירה עשייה שבעשייה. 4 פעמים 11 הם מספר דם של אדם. לרמוז דעל ידי לימוד התורה הרומז באלף, יהיה בירור ב4 בחינות אשר, ב4 בחינות 11 סימנים שהם דם, ובזה ממילא יזדכך חומר גוף האדם ב4 יסודות שלו, ותתאר הנפש מן השיגים ב4 יסודות שבה. ואז יכול האדם לזכות ליראה הפנימית. What he's saying said, he said, look, he said, let me explain to you a concrete way, a concrete things to do in order first to refine your body, and after to purify your soul. Because we know that these 2 situations will help me to acquire the real fear, like explained in the Pirkei Avot. He said, look, the sage of the Great Assembly, they tried to help you from the beginning. There's something we call the ketoret, the incense. But let's see how it's built. Now, let me go back to the text. He said, so, he said, basically, let's try to clarify 4 aspects connected to the 11 ingredients of the incense, which exist in the 4 words. So for people who don't know Kabbalah, we have 4 spiritual words. From the bottom to the top, we have Asiya, Yetzira, Bria, Atzilut. And he said, but you have to know a general rule. We say in the Sod, in the inner Torah, we say that everything is in everything. So if I know that we have 4 words of spirituality, of holiness, let's say, we have Asiya, Yetzira, Bria, Atzilut, I have to know that 4 level, they are also within the 4 words. Meaning, if it is Asiya, inside I will have Asiya of Asiya, Yetzira of Asiya, Bria of Asiya, and Atzilut of Asiya. Do you get it? One more time.
Yes.
Toda. And he said like this. So I'll go back in the text. Yeah. He said, we have 4 words of spirituality which exist in the Atzilut, Bria, Yetzira, Asiya. And we will be talking about that 4 which are specifically within Asiya. You see, because it's known that each word among the 4, Atzilut, Bria, Yetzira, Asiya, and Asiya, contains within it all 4 words. So, if now you see the prayers, look what's happened. We recite the 11 ingredients of incense in the morning during the prayer of Asiya. What does it mean, the prayer of Asiya? You see why it's important to know Sod? Because the sage of the Great Assembly, when they structured the morning prayer, they divide it in 4 levels. The first level is what we call Korbanot, which is Asiya. After you have a Psuke de Zimra, where you say all the Tehillims and you start by Hashem Melech Hashem Allah. this is Yetzirah. After you have the Kriyat Shema, Shema Israel, this is Bria. And after you have the Amida, this is Atzilut. And after you go down till Alelun Shabeah. So you see, look, you see basically, when we recite the 11 ingredients of the incense in the morning, during the prayer of Asya, which is the order of offerings, Korbanot, once in the verse of written Torah, Torah Shebirtav, and once in the verse of oral Torah, which is the Braita. And we repeat this before Alin Shabeach, again twice. One in the verse of take for yourself spice, which is from the written Torah, and once in the Braita, which is also recitation in the words of Asya. So I explain. It's basically, if you see the structure of the morning prayer, and you ask to anybody who had once prayed all the prayer from Korban, from Akedat Yitzhak till Alenu Shabeach. If you ask to him, how many times do we say the prayer of incense, of Ketoret? He will tell you 4 times. The 2 first time, they will be happening at the moment of the Korbanot, when we talk about the offerings. He said, we say it once after or once in between the Torah Shebirtav, meaning we quote some verse of the Chumash where we talk about the incense. The second time in the Korbanot, in the offerings, we talk about it by quoting part of what we call Torah Shebirtav, meaning the Mishnayot or the Talmud. Even if they are written, they used to be the oral Torah. So it's basically 2 times in the level of Korbanot, which is Asya, and 2 times after Alinu Shabeah, which is also Asya. So say, why do we say 4 times the Ketoret? Why do we say 4 times the incense? What's the purpose? Is it clear, more or less?
Again, Rabbi.
Toda. He said, basically, we'll have 4, in total, we'll have 4 recitations that are corresponding to the 4 aspects of the 11 ingredients. What are the 4 aspects of the 11 ingredients of the Ketoret? Aspect of Atzilut, aspect of Bria, aspect of Yetzirah, and aspect of Asya. Within Asya. He said, and 4 times 11, because I have 11 ingredients, right? If I repeat them 4 times, it's 4 times 11, right?
That's correct.
So 4 times 11, it's 44. And what is 44? Is the numerical value of dam, blood. Blood. So what does it mean? It's very simple. It said, don't translate blood only. See that dam, dalet mem, they are 2 letters of the word Adam, which possess 3. So basically, when I say dam, I'm missing the aleph. I'm missing the aleph because I have only blood. So see, what does it mean? He said, it's here to tell us, to hint that it's only through Torah study alluded by the Aleph. It's only thanks to the Torah study that the physicality of a human body is refined in its four elements. Oh, how can I be sure that I'm refining the human body? So I have to have four references, because in the human body we have earth, water, wind, and fire. So the fourth time we read, will come each one of them can I get that level in my body, in your body, in our body. And he said, and the soul is purified from its impurities in its four element also. And then a person can merit eternal fear. Oh, you say, look, what is talking about will be achieved. Let's say, we will help you to achieve it by bringing you to read the Torah four times. Why did he jump? Well, I get it, but what the connection between studying Torah, the level of wisdom, and suddenly we go to the Torah? You know, I want to tell you the secret of the Aleph. Telling you, if you don't study Torah at the level of Aleph, if you don't study Torah Aleph, if you don't say properly Nishma v'naseh, you are only blood. You are not a man. Meaning, the wrong fear you will build, sorry, will bring you to spread blood. Someone, Chas Shalom, God forbid, who is a murderer, is full of fear, but the wrong one. The wrong one. Someone will say, we the Jews, we the Bnei Israel will take revenge on what was made, and we will show to you the power of our weapon, and you will see. Oh, you will see. Why so connected to blood? I'll let you finish the analyze. Sometimes you don't need to go far away to understand the dynamic of life. It's telling you, if a man is not connected to the Torah Aleph, just know that he has no fear. The proper one, like explained in the Pirkei Avot. The only thing he has in his mind is blood. Or for revenge, or for anything, but it's blood. When you see blood, don't think only about killing, Chas v'shalom. Think also about non-kosher. Eat blood. Not only that, think also about nakedness. You will be immoral being with women who is not his wife. It will be called neither woman, so blood. So if you are in a society, when you see murders, you see immorality in terms of sexuality, and you see craziness in terms of nutrition and food, you know where you are. You get it?
And Rabbeinu.
Da,
Scary also.
toda. You see, this is just introduction in order to know how to apply the halachot of putting and using salt. That's why the Ben Ish Chai in the structure of his book is telling you, my introduction is here to tell you Nishma, and after we go to the Lachot Naase. In the structure of his books, he's telling you that this is the way to work. Once you have all this in your mind, do you really think that you will study all these halachot with the same dynamic? For example, here, halacha gimel. Im gvina kara. When we talk about cheese, but the cheese is cold, and lacha and humid. Nafla ala tzale beodo cham, and is falling on a piece of meat which is hot. So you see, if you don't have this introduction, you even don't get where it's going. So why are we talking about cheese falling on meat? I don't eat. I put it in the trash. Or someone say, no, I will cut a bit. I will eat. So the purpose is not to try to do with your instinct. No, the purpose is to say, what is the proper thing to do once you know that? And we just start with blood. And he said, damn. We said, here it is. He said, you are in the blood when you don't have the Torah Aleph. He said, basically, only Torah study can help us to become Adam and to refine our physicality and to refine our spirituality. And then only a person can merit eternal fear. This is to tell us what? If there is no wisdom, that is Torah, which is called wisdom, which is koach ma. Let's explain to you. I didn't read it, sorry. It's like this. He said, ובזה ממילא יזדקח חומר הגוף האדם בארבע יסודות שלו, ותתאר הנפש מן השיגים בארבע יסודות שבה. ואז יכול האדם לזכות ליראת הפנימית. לזה אמר, אם הן חוכמה, היא תורת שנקראת בשם חוכמה, שהיא כוח מה? שכמספר אדם, שעולה מה? אין יראה, היא יראת הפנימי. ואם אין יראה, היא יראת החיצונית, שתקדם להיות אצל האדם, אין חוכמה, שאם לא יקדם אצלו יראה, איך יימשך ליבו לעסק התורה. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Look what he's saying. He said, look, it's very simple. He said, we understand that what was said by the Tanaim, by the sages, if there is no wisdom, what is that wisdom? It's Torah, because the Torah is called wisdom. That's why we said, Im en chokhmah en yira, meaning if there is no wisdom, there is no Torah. What is the Torah? It's the koach ma. Said, let's say koach ma, it's the if I translate wrongly, it's the power of what? But it's not like this. It's ma, it's the name of the milui avaya for the vav, but keep it aside. But keep in mind, ma, it's 45, it's Adam. Aleph, Dalet, Mem, it's 45 in numerical value. You see, what is Koach Ma? The power of Ma is the power of the man. Same value as Adam, which is 45. There is no fear. So without the Torah, without the wisdom, you can't have fear. Meaning what? Internal fear. So what was the mindset here of the sages when they say im en chokhmah en yira? Say here first we are talking about the internal fear. Don't think that you start by the external one. The internal fear is the level of I don't want to be punished and I want to have reward. And he said, you start by the internal fear. This is connected to him and Chokhmah and Ira. If there is no wisdom, there is no fear. And he said, internal fear. And the second part of the verse, if there is no fear, what is there is no fear? That is the external fear, which must proceed in a person. There is no wisdom. For if, let's say, if fear does not proceed, how will his heart be drawn to Torah study? So I will start again. Im en chokhmah en yira, im en yira en chokhmah. So I build my internal fear by moving from chokhmah, Torah, to the level of fear. And after the second level, I go from the level of fear to achieve another level of Torah, or will it be the same Torah? So what do you think? Here we have two level of fear. Im en chokhmah en yira, first level. And im en yira, second level, and chokhmah. So we admitted that this is inner fear and this is external fear. So if we say that chokhmah is Torah, here, that chokhmah is what we saw. It's the Torah we study with the purpose of acquiring wisdom and cleaning our body and making our soul pure. So what is that chokhmah if this is Torah? What is that chokhmah? Because from the beginning, we said that the level of chokhmah here is Torah Aleph. So what is that chokhmah? It cannot be Torah Bet. Because Torah Bet can even not put you in the dynamic of getting the proper fear. You understand my question? Yes, Chief Rabbi Shai Moshe.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Could it be that the first chokhmah is, as we say, it's the chokhmah Torah Aleph, but in the chitzoniut aspect also, that is connected to the pshat of the Gan Eden, and the second chokhmah it have to be something that is higher, that is the pnimi, connected to the same fear.
This is it. Basically, it helps you. When you are in this level of chokhmah, let's say it's what we call in our language the pshat of the Gan Eden. Not the pshat that Yehuda wants, but the pshat of Yehuda is the pshat of Torah Bet. It's a pshat where you have impurity, you have blood, you have death, and so on. The pshat of Gan Eden, that's Torah that Adam HaRishon was granted. It was a pshat from a universe where we had no fear, let's say, no impurity, no death, no blood. So the pshat of Adam HaRishon is not the pshat of Bnei Yehuda, let's say. That pshat was achieved by Moshe again, because at the moment of the Mount Sinai, death was removed from earth. So that Chokhmah is what we call the Pshat of Gan Eden. But if Rabbi Ishai helped you, he said, no, it means that with the Pshat of Gan Eden, you achieve the real level of Yira. And after that real level of Yira, applied in a certain way, will help you to achieve what we call next level. You will call it the Pnimi, Torah Pnimi of Gan Eden. One mistake Adam made, Hashem told him, look, you have the tree of life in the garden, and you have also the tree of the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. Adam chose to start to connect with the tree of knowledge. The sage explained that for him, he made the choice to study the Pshat of Gan Eden only. He refused to study the Pnimi, the Nistar, the hidden Torah of Gan Eden. This is what the sages say in the Pirkei Avot. To you and to me, this should be your objective. To do what your father refused to do. Not to study Kabbalah, Zohar, no. Study the inner Torah that Adam Arishon refused to study. This is the second Chokhmah of Im and Chokhmah and Nira and Im and Nira and Chokhmah. Shalom Shalom Shechavei Zohar. And he said, finish almost. He said, there is no wisdom. And if you don't achieve the external level of that fear, so it's impossible for you to have that wisdom. The very same that Adam refused to study. Why? Because fear does not proceed at all. If fear doesn't proceed at all, how will his heart be drawn to study Torah? That inner Torah of Gan Eden. And he said, ובזה יובן הטעם שהתורה נדמית לאש. דכתיב הלוואה כדברי כאש נאום אדוני. וכפשיט יפצץ סלע לרמוז כמו שהאש. בטבעו לנקות כל דבר מאחריות וסיגים שבו, כי הבשר יתבשל ויתנחר באש. וכן אדם שהוא הסיגים שבבשר, שיצא מן הבשר על ידי האש, כמו שאמרו רבותינו זיכרונם לברכה בפסחים, נורא שאב את אדם. כן התורה מתארת הנפש ומושכת ממנה השיגים שבה, ולכן תורה נקרא אישה, כי אישה אותיות האש, ולכן תמצא תורה עולה מספר תריה, ורוב מספר תריה שהוא מספר אישה, שהוא האש, לרמוז שהתורה מושחת השיגים מן הנפש המזדככת, חומר הגוף, כטעם האש דמשאב שאב את אדם ומבשל הבשר. מבשל הבשר, what does it mean? What does it mean? It's like this, it's a look. It said, all this, we are concluded. It's here to help us to understand why Torah is compared to fire. It's written in Jeremiah. Is not my word like fire, said the Lord? So if the word of Lord are quoted, we have to know that it's Torah. So Torah is fire. And like a hammer that that brick or rock. What does it mean? It said to in that just as fire naturally cleans everything from its rust, from its impurities, you take fire, it will remove all the bacteria, all the dross, everything that can be connected to impurity. So the same thing, if the fire can do that, so for the meat is cooked and softened by fire. So we were starting with En Yira and Chochma and Chochma and Yira. Sorry, En Chochma and Yira and Yira and Chochma. And we finish by kashrut and eating meat. Or sorry, not eating blood. He said, meat have to be cooked and softened by fire. And the blood, which is the impurity in the meat. So keep in mind, why we don't eat blood, Chas v'shalom, why we don't eat meat which not have meat pass through the process of kashrut. You finish to make you slaughter the animal, you check everything is okay, the animal is not nevela, it's not trefa, seder, and you have now pieces, you have to put salt, rinse, salt, you rinse, salt, you rinse, to remove all the blood. So know what the Ben Ishai is saying. The blood is the impurity in the meat. And Adam Sheu Asigim Shebebasar. The blood is the impurity of the meat. So understand that when you don't eat kosher meat, or when you eat, I don't know, blood, Chas v'shalom, it's impurity that you are putting in your body. Chas v'shalom. See, and the blood, which is the impurity in the meat, is drawn out by fire. As I've said in Psachim, fire draws out the blood. This is what the Psachim is said. Fire draws out the blood. So, based on that, also Torah, which is connected to the fire that we saw in Jeremiah, it says, so Torah purifies the soul and draws out its impurities. That's why the Torah is called the woman, Isha. Why? It said, don't say Isha like it is in the proverb. It said the same letter to write the word Isha, help me to write the word Esh, the fire. So he's going too high, too fast. Let me help you out. He's telling you, look, the blood is connected to the impurity. The impurity have to be purified by the fire. That fire is connected to the woman. That woman also, she had bleeding time. And that woman also, she can be purified. How? We will see by waters. Waters which also, which one symbol of the Torah. Not only that. You see, once you are connected to blood, keep in mind what we saw here, that blood keep you far away from your state of man. So what type of man is connected to the woman when there is no fire of Torah? What is that fire of Torah? It's what we call Torat Aleph. What is Torat Aleph? The very beginning way to build a first level of fear. It is too fast. It's too fast. All that line, it's short, but it's too deep what he's saying. לכן תמצא תורה עולה מספר תרי"ג. So you will see that Torah will be gematria 611. So what the connection? 611. What the connection? Look what he said. He said because Isha, woman, shares the letter of Esh, fire. So you will find that Torah has a numerical value of 611 when you write Torah. You see? Taf. It's 400, 6, 200, and 5. So Torah, it's 611. So Torah 611 is also when you connect Ish and Isha and Esh, fire. Look, I take Isha, I have 306, and I take Esh, 306, 306, 612, which is the same numerical value with the Kolel of Torah. So what is Torah? It's woman and fire. To say what? See, look. To hint that Torah drowns out the impurity from the soul and refine the body's physicality, just as fire drowns out the blood and cook the meat. Conclusion. The question was, how can Bantu Israelites eliminate the sense of fear inherited from Western domination? He went in different direction. But the main thing is like this. First of all, we want to recover our freedom and to have the second level of independences. First of all, we need Torah Aleph. Nishma v'na'aseh. This will help us to purify our body and our soul. We will achieve the level of men. This is only that level that can keep us away from egoism, arrogancy. Why? Because we saw that the real fear can never be associated to, let's say, our own benefit. This is the first level of work. Many people will tell you, Bantu Israelite, black people, we have no solidarity. We have no connection. Everybody runs for himself. I don't hesitate to finish one's situation, chas v'shalom, to take his wife, to take his money, God forbid. Where does it come from? Because we have been separated from our heritage, which is Torah. Like I said many times, before the missionaries arrived in the lands of Africa in the late 14th century, our ancestors were practicing Mishnah. What they call today animism to mock us was real and authentic Mishnah. By being cut from that level, we were basically put in a place where we will never be able to build the real, authentic fear, which is not to live for your own benefit. If you live for your own benefit, it means that you are not doing things for the sake of heaven. Like we saw, this is the self-made man mindset. And only when you do that, you can start to be called man. If you're a man, now the book of prayer you have in your hand helps you every single morning to refine and to purify your body and your soul. At the moment of the Ketoret reading, that refinement will help you to achieve the second level of Torah that Chief Rabbi Ishai said. This is the Pnimi of Gan Eden, not the Pshat only. And that Pnimi of Gan Eden, this is what we call Torah fire. Many people don't understand. They just say, oh yeah, Torah can be compared to fire. Oh yes, Torah can be compared to waters. So you think that our sages, they use these two examples for nothing? There's no wisdom behind? I give you a secret. Torah being compared to water, this is the En Chochma En Yira. But Torah being compared to fire, this is the En Yira En Chochma. Meaning your Torah can only be a fire when you have achieved the secret, the Pnimi of Gan Eden. And when you are a real Adam and not connected at all to blood. Because if you're not a real Adam, you will be bloody. Bloody in nakedness, bloody in the way you eat, bloody in the way you interact with, let's say, the dimension of midot, ra'ot. Yes, one question. Yes. Yeah. Chief Rabbi Isha Moshe, yes.
Shalom, תודה רבה. There was something that with the conclusion when we have the Torah from water and Torah from Esh, and the two tend to kill each other. So often the Torah, the water is the one who will kill, who have more strength, let's say, to kill the Esh, the flame. So we saw in Rabbi Nechumia Ben Akani, Sefer HaPliya, we learned it in the Bosna Kanisha, where there is a state where the water and the fire can exist in one in one situation. So I was just leading by the conclusion to that point, but it was a really complicated story. But Rabbi Nechumia Ben Akani said that state exists, and I think we connected it with the Tikkun Midot. But
תודה רבה, Chief Rabbi Ishai Moshe. Yes. There's just know that what we study is just introduction. The purpose is always to know that you have to go deeper. You have to go deeper and to see what comes after, and Rabbi Ishai help you. And he said, look, so if Adam Arishon chose to study the Pshat of Gan Eden, so there's a fight between the Pshat of Gan Eden and the inner Torah of Gan Eden? The truth, no. Because both trees exist. But this is man. It's because of man's mindset that opposition exists. So the question will be, so how can you make exist the coexistence of both, which seems to be totally separate? So this is my conclusion. The Zohar, Akadosh, which is the hint, the introduction to that inner Torah of Gan Eden, finished with what we called the Hidrazuta. Have you ever heard about that? Hidrazuta. Well, I've heard about that.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Tota. Let me just show you something. Keep in mind, Torah water, Pshat de Gan Eden. Torah fire, Pnimi de Gan Eden. You see my screen?
Yes.
Nobody's saying. We have learned that on the day when Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai wished to leave the world and he was settling his affairs, his companion gathered in his home. Rabbi Elazar, his son Rabbi Abba, and the rest of the companion appeared before him. And the house was full. Rabbi Shimon looked up and saw the house was full. He wept and said, at a different time, when I was sick, Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair came before me. They waited for me until I found my place in the Gan Eden. When I returned, fire encircled me, which never ceased. No one appeared before me except with permission. Now I see that the fire is extinguished and the house is full. While they were seated, Rabbi Shimon opened his eyes and saw that is what he saw. While a fire surrounding the house, everybody left. Rabbi Lazar, his son, and Rabbi Abba remained, while the other companions stayed outside. Rabbi Shimon said to Rabbi Lazar, his son, go out and see if Rabbi Yitzchak is present, because I was his guarantor. Tell him to settle his affair and to be seated by me. Bless is his portion. That fire that we have at the first word of the Hidrazuta, this is what we talk about. The very same fire you will see here. And we finish. You know the story? Look, Eliyahu Navi on the Har Carmel. And Achav sent them to hold the children of Israel and gather the prophet together into the Mount Carmel. And Eliyahu came knowing to hold the people and say, how long halt ye between two opinions? If the Lord be God, follow me. But if Baal, follow him. And the people answer him not a word. Then Eliyahu unto the people, even I only left a prophet of the Lord, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on the wood, and put no fire under. And I will dress the other bullock, and lay on the wood, and put no fire under. And call ye on the name of your God, and I will call on the name of my Lord. And the God that answereth by fire, let him be God. And all the people answered and said, yes, answered, it is well spoken. And Elijah said unto the prophet of Baal, choose you one bullock for yourself, and dress it first. For ye are many, and call on the name of your God, but put no fire under. And they took the bullock which was given them, dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from morning even until noon, saying, O Baal, answer us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered. And they danced, and halting wise about the altar which was made. And it came to pass anon, and Elijah mocked them, and said, Cry aloud, for him is a God. Either is music, or is gone aside, or is in a journey, or peradventure is sleep, and must be awaked. And they cried aloud, and they cut themselves after their manners with swords and lances, till the blood, you see, till the blood gushed out upon them. And it was so when midday was past, that they prophesied until the time of offering of the evening offering. But there were neither voice, nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. And Eliyahu said unto all the people, Come near unto me. And all the people come near unto him. And he repaired the altar of the Lord that was thrown down. And Eliyahu took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes. Yehuda Yosef, 12 stones of sons of Jacob, into whom the word of the Lord came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stone he built an altar in the name of the Lord, and he made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the block in pieces, and laid it on the wood. And he said, Fill 4 jars with water, and pour it on the burnt offering and on the wood. And he said, Do it the second time. And they did it the second time. And he said, Do it third time. And we did the third time. And the water ran around all the altar. The water. And he filled the trench also with water. And it came to pass the time of offerings of the evening offering, that Elijah the prophet came near and said, O Lord, the God of Abraham, of Yitzchak, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art God in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things L'Shem Shamayim, not for my interest, not for my benefit. At thy words, hear me, O Lord, hear me, that these people may know that thou, Lord, art God. Thou didst turn their heart backward. Then the fire, Esh Adonai, the fire of the Lord fell, and it consumed the burnt offering, and the wood, and the stone, and the dust, and licked up the waters that was in the trench. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen ve'amen.
Amen.
Very cool.
Sorry. I have two elements, but I cannot say Lag Baomer and the fire. Is there any work that I can be done? This is just what
Not is there any work. Work has to be done on that day.
Okay.
So that fire that was surrounding Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was the same fire who came down and drank the waters. So
So,
that fire,
so we need water with that fire.
give me water.
No,
Yes, yes.
okay. I will, maybe I will do a vocal. תודה רבה.
מי יבוא כל בעזרת השם. תודה רבה לכולם, תודה רבה רבי הקשוקו, תודה רבה רבי אליוש מידיה. Please, Rabbi Eliyash Media, send to me your email. Like this, I will put you in the mailing list because we have a lot of news that need to be spread to the one who do the rabbinical program. We have many things that I said at the beginning that I need your email and the email of Chief Rabbi Kish. Like this, I will add you, Bezrat Hashem, in all the information. תודה רבה, רבנית קטרין. תודה רבה, רבי אליהו גאון. It was nice to see you among us. תודה רבה, רבי פוניקה, רבי הלל. תודה רבה, רבי שמעון איקושוקו. תודה רבה, פרמי קיטוקו. תודה רבה, רבי משה וולף. תודה רבה, רבי נדז', רבי נטליה, רבי פרינץ. תודה רבה, צ'יף רבי זוהר. תודה רבה, צ'יף רבי שי משה. תודה רבה. רבי שלווה, רבי יהושע אוריזו, תודה רבה, רבי יוחנן. תודה רבה, שבת שלום to all of you, and to all the students, shalom shalom also to everybody on YouTube. תודה רבה, House of אריה, תודה רבה also, בית שמע תורה. The question, שלום עליכם, שפרבי, what days time do you teach via? Generally, it's in English, it's on Wednesday. Wednesday, Bezrat Hashem. Here a question. Yes, Chief Rabbi Moashi.
I sent you the address. Did you receive my home address on a WhatsApp? On Shaddai, privately? Yeah, yes.
That's it. I will do it because all these last days since then, I moved a lot. So I will do it tomorrow.
I understand.
Sorry
No
for that.
judgment. I understand. I think I in the last minute I think I add my name among the students for the university. I don't know if you received. I don't know if you received that. I did that last week.
Okay, I received because I saw your email and your name. Just check your email because everything is happening via emails. We have all the university, virtual university, using Google's apps. So just be very focused on your emails. Bezrat Hashem.
תודה רבה, Rabbi. Thank you for today's limud. It was powerful.
תודה רבה. Thank you to you. We build powerful limud together, and the teacher and the student. It's together. תודה רבה.
Baruch Hashem.
תודה רבה. Yes, Rabbanit Shalva.
Rav, I checked my email, so I had all the invitation. I click on yes.
Yeah.
And then what would happen? How can I see that everything in a calendar? Will I be able to see like a calendar, complete calendar with the invitations, or I have to go back and write my own calendar with the classes?
No, you don't need to do that. Remember that everything is connected to Google. What you need to do is to download Google Agenda. Like this,
Okay.
all the information where you quote yes, they will be synchronized with your Google Agenda, and like this, you will receive notification before the limudim that you are programmed in English or in French, depending which group you are. Like this, if you have time also, download Google Chat. In the chat, you can ask, okay, when is the limud, or if we have any delay about not starting on time, if we have anything to share in the group, it will be in Google Chat.
The other Google name, Google Chat, and Google what?
Google Meet. Google
Meet.
Meet is where we have the limudim. It will
Okay.
not be on Zoom. It will not be on. Basically, I said it in the video of a
Yes.
presentation of the
Okay,
program.
okay.
Google Meet, this is where we're going to study. And also, the last thing, like I said, that you need to have, it's a Google Classroom. And Google Classroom is like this. You just go in your store, in your phone, and you quote Classroom.
Okay.
Or if you're on a computer, you just quote Classroom, and you will see. I didn't send the invitation yet. I'm setting up every single limudim. And here we will have the possibility, you have the teacher, and the teacher will have the possibility to send to you some homework and to make some tests and to share some, for example, sometimes we have the picture of some pages of the books. Everything will be in this class. And you will have the possibility to interact and to find here many things. So by using the Google Universe, it will be very easy to share all the details because the the rabbinical program, it's a lot of information, a lot. And what is hard is when the information are spread here and there, and you don't remember if it's still in your WhatsApp, and maybe it was erased. No, here it will be everything inside. The videos will be sent. The link will be sent to you, and you can only see them if you're a student. We will receive notification. This Rabbi Shalva want to see the recording video. If it's you, I say, okay. With my phone, I can say, okay. If it's not a student we know, say, no, cannot see the video. So like this, it's a whole universe. So
Okay.
by being in the chat, I will update you, get this, get that, and you will see at the end when we will be used. After 2 weeks, you will see that we are in a real university because behind that, you have also Google Education. We are setting all these things up to have something very powerful to be able to connect from all the different corners of the world and to have a quality in the work we are doing.
Thank you very much, Mark. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom to all of you, and see you next week with Hashem. And we start Sunday. So follow your phone, check your emails in the next days, B'ezrat Hashem. Bye bye.
תודה רבה,
לילה טוב,
רבינו.
רבי. תודה רבה.
תודה רבה, שלום.
Shalom.
תודה.